We're live, right? Hey, we have some problems occasionally. I asked, do you know where your Bitcoin is? Because we know where our Bitcoin is. Bitcoin's over 55,000. I don't know how your morning's gone, but we got miners, baby. We got miners being installed. We talked about this in a prior press release. We've bought 4,000 so far. 1,000 are on the ground in Michigan being installed as we speak over the last couple of days. And Bitcoin's above 55,000. Check it out. Jason, how'd the market do today?
Actually, the market was pretty red today, but it somehow salvaged some green. The Dow finished up 102 to 34,416. The NASDAQ up 68, 14,501. And the S&P was up 17.
Pull up my screen.
43.63. Bitcoin right now, 55,204.
Right. There
55.
You can see it on the screen behind us, 55,232. And I wanted to say, you guys know we are pushing towards an all-in bet on Bitcoin.
It was at just 49 the other day, wasn't it?
What has changed for me with Bitcoin is conversations with people in the know, in the space, and the fact that the Chinese have pushed it out of their life. And you see the regulators talking about we're not going to ban it, we're going to regulate it, but we're going to let it grow. Jason, I haven't said all in yet.
Not yet.
But I have made some big bets. And by the way, the pot's gotten bigger. We will be mining about 50 million worth of Bitcoin a year at DPW. Now, that's high margin, man. High margin for us because our production costs. Every time we mint one of those fresh virgin Bitcoin, I'm excited, man.
I've been watching you jump around like spit on a hot skillet for like 4 days now.
Yeah, because I'm very comfortable with our data center now. We invested heavily in Michigan. We have a direct nuclear power plant connection 20 miles away from our location.
Yeah.
The energize it. I like that new word. We're energizing pods, baby. And we already had Bitcoin on our balance sheet. We already had miners from, I won't lie, a prior mining experience where DPW failed at that. You know, we didn't do what we wanted to do. We had some pretty heavy learning curve. But now we pay attention to almost every electron, the cost of the power, who we do business with, who mines our operation. Jason, once again, I want to give you credit for making sure and setting up that direct relationship with your connection.
Hey.
And of course, indirectly, my connection with Bitmain.
Yep.
And I'm just so excited about it. And I want to talk about it that I finally kind of committed to. So Jason, you have a better analogy than me. We've spent about 27 million or so on Bitcoin operations. We keep pushing in some more chips. So how would you, if we were playing a poker game, what would you call it? Because it's not like a tournament where we go all bust unless Bitcoin goes to zero, right?
No, we're moving. Here's the way I would see
Are we playing a cash game?
Well, we're very aggro. We're very aggressive. And, we started, so in a cash game, we are playing a cash game, by the way.
Cash game.
And we started off playing 1-2 no limit. That's the introductory stakes. You know, you buy in for a smaller amount, and then you try to build your bankroll up.
Right.
And we've been trying to build our Bitcoin bankroll up, and we're moving up in stakes gradually.
Sure.
But only when we're prepared to move up in stakes.
Right.
So we're gaining
So
education.
are we 1-3 still or 2-5?
No, we're at 2.5.
Oh,
with
nice.
With the $10 straddle.
Nice.
Yeah, we're in 2.5. We could safely say that at this stake, we could actually support ourselves making a living doing this.
Sure.
So yeah, that's where we're at.
Nice.
Sure.
Thanks for boiling it down.
Yeah,
for
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
For us naive folk.
Yeah, this is exciting. As you see,
55,200.
I keep
Unbelievable.
looking around, 55.2. I mean, I keep pulling up the calculators to look at difficulty, to look at our cost of utilities just to see where we're at. We're deploying miners, as you said. We've got a team on the ground. They're working hard. And, we've got an amortization schedule that has been deployed. It's been in our press releases. And we anticipate 300 additional miners for the next 10 months straight.
So we'll be at 4,000 miners, assuming we don't buy any more miners. That's assuming we don't buy any more miners.
Yep.
That's assuming we don't buy any more miners.
I hear you.
I feel like a robot there.
Is that the assumption we're going to make?
No, I wouldn't assume that, but you never know.
Okay. Gotcha.
So with 3,000 miners or 4,000 miners, 1,000 up, will be mining throughout the month of October, ramping to that full 1,000 energized. Now, keep in mind, we have the old S9s. Believe it or not, we're still making money on the old S9. So I have directed Darren and the operations at Alliance Cloud Services to continue to use those S19s until you bury them into the ground and they don't work and they don't mind a little bit of Bitcoin, right?
Ride that monkey
I know you
till
disagree
it
with
don't
me,
ride
but we
no
are
more.
riding that bitch all the way home. putting
Ride
away
that
wet,
monkey
right?
till
Hey,
it
that's
don't
fine.
ride
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've got big plans. You know, we're doing what we said we were going to do as far as the Bitcoin miners.
Sure.
You know? Your conviction is key. It starts at the top. Todd has been very adamant about going big in Bitcoin, and we see the value
We're going to
personally.
take that $100 million of cash for a spin.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Oh, team
Bathe in that Bitcoin,
who's that?
baby.
Team
Come on.
Yeah,
PJ.
you know, I wish the people that are both listening
Sorry.
and
I shouldn't be
watching
doing that. I'm excited.
I just wish they could see you on a day-to-day basis because you guys are both jumping around like two 13-year-olds at a Justin Bieber concert.
Sure.
You're having so much fun, and
We
I
are.
wish
Well,
I
I
wish
think-
people could see you in the hallway.
I think the relationships now, the way we're mining, the relationships we have with certain people in that space,
Yeah.
I've gained confidence. And by the way, you should know the thesis that Bitcoin was 40,000, and for the seventh time they banned it in China. We know that they're kicking people out of China. But by the way, if you're kicking people out of China, where do you go? Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan.
Oh my God.
Oh, but you go where else? You go to the USA.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's a poker room I used to play at that had the largest bad beat jackpot in the United States. It just got hit for 460,000, and the girl that dealt it, I know her. I'm just looking at it on
Oh,
YouTube.
nice. So, hey, it's a weird market. We have some weird things going on. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to mint a platinum $1 trillion coin and deposit it at the Treasury. That's the stupid. Even Janet Yellen said it's pretty gimmicky. Today, you had Mary Barra say by 2030 they expect to double their sales to $280 billion, and the push to be digital. Like they're going to push real hard to be digital, like Tesla. I thought that was exciting. GM is like going all in on digital, right? They're going to be an EV play. Mm-hmm. The CDC director says the U.S. is in for a severe flu risk this year. I think that's
boy.
because we've been wearing masks. The opposite, by the way,
Seriously.
is that when you wear the mask, you don't get the infections. And so, therefore, your immune system goes down,
Exactly.
and you're subject to
Then
more
there's going to be
infection.
another vaccine that they're going to want you to take to counteract the flu, which
Right.
may counteract the other vaccine.
You'll have a bingo card. You'll be like, no, listen to this. You get your 9th booster, you get the 10th one free.
Yes.
They check it off like a Jersey
It
Mike's.
will be like a bingo card where you actually punch the
Yeah,
tab,
you punch the thing.
right?
And then listen, if you only have 4 boosters, then you're not fully vaccinated. So the guy with 5 boosters is going to be bitching at you.
Hey, listen, just I've had a COVID morning, right? Like I've had my COVID morning.
Sorry,
Hey, I know-
Look at the markets, though. Look at it.
Yeah, I found out today, by the way, or last night, that 70% of the NASDAQ 100 are down double digits. There is a correction going on that is not seen in the market, but if you're a trader or investor, you probably feel it in your portfolio unless you're 100% in the NASDAQ 100
Yeah.
or the Dow. I can tell you we're seeing names get depressed and pushed on and pushed on and pushed on, and that's pretty ugly, by the way. A critical line today in the NASDAQ 100, roughly half the NASDAQ 100 are below a critical long-term trend line. That's something to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to see, you have only really choice. You're going to see no PE expansion, and you better hope that earnings come in line, or you're going to see a pullback, right?
You're gonna-
'Cause I
yeah.
don't think you're going to see earning expansion with rates going higher and a weird, a weird state of affairs with the government. It's really I don't know if it's gridlock. What would you call it? It's really
No, it's grandstanding.
There's a lot of
and
infighting,
positioning.
though, too.
Yeah,
It's
and-
grandstanding and positioning.
Let's be
Right.
clear. They have a super majority, and they can't get shit done. So whatever. I'm glad they're not getting anything done.
Is that a technical term?
Super majority, where they control both House, the Senate, and the
I think
presidency.
it was not getting shit done.
No,
that
they're
he
not
was
shit
referring
done
to.
part.
Oh
is
yeah.
Yeah, I
technical
think
term.
you call that.
Oh, by the way, we're
constipation.
moving mountains, and that was signed, so that's good.
Good.
He's happy.
So, do we complete that? Did he get it? Is he happy?
Yeah, we just gotta get our shit together on
Some
the other
people
thing.
say that Todd Ault keeps his word. Sometimes it's later. It takes a little time, but I get my stuff done eventually. We are going to eventually mine Bitcoin. I know there are people out there. Oh yeah, what happened last time? Really? Is that really your argument? that because we failed one time, we shouldn't try it again. We shouldn't try to change our stake a little bit, etc. I don't know.
This is Nick. I want to show this.
What?
I gotta
I
show you.
thought you were going to say sometimes they
Hey
call me
Nick,
Space
let
Cowboy.
me show this video.
Sometimes they
Todd,
call
Todd,
me the
this is
gangster
look.
of love.
This is Willie. This is Todd with Bitcoin. You ready?
What?
Watch. Watch this. Give me the Bitcoin. Yeah.
Feed me. Feed me.
Anyway,
Yeah.
No, you know what's different about it this time is I'm not going to say the person's name, but we needed to pay a bill and we don't have Tether, and this person, we're not going to use their name.
Yeah.
We were going to have to send them to Bitcoin, and they said to us, "Save your Bitcoin; it's too precious. It's virgin Bitcoin. Don't send us Bitcoin. We'll figure out how we can get Tether." Right?
Yeah, that's called that's yeah.
But I'm saying like. That's the difference in where we are today, right? And what's interesting about where I am psychologically is we have a defense business. We have a power electronics EV business, which I'll give anything for certification to be done so we can start delivering more of those chargers, those home chargers. It's driving me crazy.
That guy says, "Let's slay many more crypto dragons together."
So
Oh, yeah.
So
I like
what do we
that.
have here? We have the defense business, we have the EV business, we have BitNile, the BitNile and data center business. We have the business of lending to public companies in digital power lending and the investment portfolio. We have the business that Chris Wu is running, which is private equity.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about where we are, but I don't think people like to reward holding companies. So
All right.
it'll be strange because the Bitcoin business, if it's mining 40, 50 million a year in Bitcoin, you and I both know that is very valuable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
And if you added miners to that, you really got vertical into the game. If you had connections to getting more miners, if we got more miners and we were deployed them, you're going to get a big. I mean, I don't think it's going to. Okay, will there be some corrections in Bitcoin?
Yeah, of
my
course,
thesis
for
is
sure.
yes, but I absolutely believe Bitcoin's here to stay.
No, yeah.
I want to point everyone to why I'm changing my thesis. I told Jason that I thought that China was going to bail, right?
Yep.
And the test would be from that correction, would they cause a collapse? And my answer was the Chinese are going to figure out that the world wants it more than anyone else. And as the Chinese figure that out, the Chinese are going to lose out to the fact that the world's adopting Bitcoin. And then to see the U.S. regulators, I mean, you saw both of them. The SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, and Gary Gensler, I love you. Thank you so much for saying you're not going to ban crypto. And the Fed chairman said, we're not going to ban crypto. To me, that's a green light for regulation and the future of crypto. And by the way, we're mining crypto in a green way. We're using nuclear power.
Yeah, we are.
Renewable nuclear power.
Sure.
Now, obviously, there's a danger if something happens with a nuclear power plant. But there's a danger anywhere, right?
For sure.
But it's green. It's green.
You say that word like George H.W. Bush.
What?
I know. I was
What
noticing
do I
that.
say? Nuclear?
It's nuclear.
It's nuclear.
Nuclear.
Nuclear,
Not
you were saying.
nuclear.
Nuclear.
It's nuclear.
Hey, listen,
Nuclear.
Team PJCT.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, wait. Before you,
Thanks for the shout out, buddy.
Before you jump off the Bitcoin thing, somebody brought up something very interesting to me. You know, when we start producing the different television shows or the feature films, I was wondering if we could pay the actors in Bitcoin.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I can tell you one thing.
That we would be the first production company on the face
can
of the
tell-
planet to pay actors in Bitcoin.
That'd
I
be
can tell
awesome.
you right
Wouldn't that
now,
be great?
though. I can tell you right now, we're not going to want to part company with Bitcoin. We're long Bitcoin. I've actually looked at it and thought we're going to have that.
So pay them through a tether then.
No, I mean, if you had to pay someone for
mean,
Bitcoin, that NFL player got paid that way.
Think about the people that you could get involved in films because they were going to be paid in Bitcoin.
Will they take Dogecoin?
I
don't think so.
no, I don't think so.
Hey, yeah, we got a great partner. Yeah, and he actually did say, "Save your Bitcoin." That was amazing. Guy's selfless,
I
wonderful
love
human.
the headline. Can you go to the headline on my screen real quick?
What do we
It's
got?
good to be the king says, how would I commission Bitcoin? And he's weeping.
Bitcoin jumps
Well, that's the
to a
point.
5-month high, topping 55,000. Guys, I'm pretty excited about this. Now, listen, live by the sword, die by the sword. I know it could go down, right? But do I feel like I have data? Do I feel like I have data over someone else? Like, do you feel like we have data?
We have
Do we have data?
through our poker games recently, we've been able to make probing bets and uncover information that was good data.
Good data.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. I really we've had a lot of great days recently where we've been able to
Bitcoin.
learn a lot.
Right.
We've learned a lot.
Right.
So I'm excited.
If could
I learned a ton over
Bitcoin
the
go to
weekend.
could Bitcoin go to zero?
Sure.
Right. But if it goes to zero, it's going to go to zero for everybody.
Now wait a minute. Can it go to zero if you've
Yeah,
got
it could.
if
It could
you've
go to
got
zero.
the original?
No, it could go to zero.
I mean, it could.
People could decide that they're never going to own Bitcoin.
But isn't there
It's
isn't there
unusual.
a stash? Isn't the original stash of Bitcoin?
Yeah, there's a million.
There's a million
coins.
Yeah, but it doesn't
coins
mean that-
somewhere that everybody's trying to figure out where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean
But
that.
if that doesn't go away, does it really go to zero?
Well, it's supply and demand. And
So,
it could go to
CNN is
zero.
reporting the following. Bitcoin, look, can you go one more time to where I'm at, please? Bitcoin soars past 55,000 on George Soros's fund endorsement.
Oh my God, he's going to use Bitcoin to cause more chaos in the world.
Hold on a second. You need to know something, though. The person that runs that fund is
Yeah.
not him.
Right, of course.
She's very talented,
Good.
very talented manager, and she's a believer in Bitcoin.
The first time in my life I'm in agreement with Soros. Wow, this is crazy. But you
You
know
okay
what?
with that?
You had BLM and MAGA supporters marching in New York City streets about the vaccine mandate, coming together. So you could make a case that Biden is unifying people, not so much the way he said he was going to, but he is. You know, his approval letter, his 38% approval now in Quinnipiac poll. That's pretty damn low. Quinnipiac's known to be a liberal poll too. Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Carbon neutral.
Carbon neutral. You know,
Bitcoin has an energy problem.
you know, you could be carbon negative actually if you buy carbon credits.
Really? Could you?
I was learning that. Yeah.
Anyways, this is going to be a shortened show, but Willie has joined us. Willie, what's going on?
It's great having Willie.
Much.
on.
I mean, it's you know what because I only come in sporadically
Sure.
to cross the border. It's been I think the last 4 days have been unbelievably productive.
For sure.
Unbelievably productive. I mean, not just because of all of the meetings that I was able to join you guys in and the vision that I was able to witness over the weekend is just incredible. It's nice to see you freed up to be even more creative.
Sure.
When you know that you've got the foundations all covered, and that's been fantastic. So I'm living life large. I'm having a great week.
Listen, Willie's here. He's a competitor. He's been a fighter his whole career. This guy's gone to the very top. He knows all the top players in Hollywood. I'm a competitor. I was a professional athlete. Todd was a football player. His son was a beast football player. We're all competitors here. We want to win. And when we win, we provide value to shareholders. And I can't sleep at night if I can't provide value to shareholders. I want to do that.
And I've
That's my
told
goal.
Todd many times. I mean, I think I've said it to you as well. I mean, when we stop being productive or good for the company, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It just is. It's. I would rather have my friend tell me, "Hey, you're not cutting it. It's time to get out of here," than to sit around and sort of cling on to what used to be.
So you're just holding us accountable more. I get motivated
No,
by you being here. No, I'm just being honest. I love it.
Yeah,
So,
but that's what I mean. Like, I love working in a stable full of racehorses.
yeah.
I mean, everybody's just like, nervous to get out there and just run as fast as you can. And I saw that happen with you this week.
Yep. Hey, Naked's pulled back to 62 cents. Anybody, what's up with Naked?
I mean, honestly, there's so many plays. Thinking like a trader. Speaking of being a racehorse ready to run, you got plays like CEI. You got oil and gas going to the moon. So there's plays in the oil and gas industry, and people were just getting sick of waiting for Naked. Justin came out and said, "Hey, we got some diligence going. We're looking for an acquisition. Possibly, we'll let you know. We're just giving you a brief update." But people want to deploy capital in the now, because they want results now.
What let me ask you a question?
DPW
'Cause
231. Short attention span theater. It's
that's what
interesting
it
to
is.
me. Alt Alpha, the hedge fund, seems to just keep buying more when we're legally allowed to. And I want to be clear. It is now the end of the quarter. And for full disclosure, I believe I'm entering a blackout period. So unfortunately, I won't be able to buy any for a while.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see that I have bought more than a larger. I mean, it's a decent position and continuing to grow. But people don't seem to be a believer so
Well,
far.
you know what? Spacula, actually, WW4231 in the chat says, Todd, will you buy some more DPW shares on the show? Obviously, you can't.
I can't. I'm not.
But-
trust me. Let me say something to you, my friend.
Yep.
When I want to buy shares, I got to get it cleared through legal.
Yep.
I pay a ridiculous commission of 5 cents a share for the fund because the firm I buy it with charges me for legal. It's ridiculous.
He also said, yeah, he's on it. He said, buy some more DPW with the Alpha Fund. He's
yeah, I would buy when I'm allowed to legally for sure. I'm not allowed to do that.
Spacula says, pay attention. He bought 1.650 million more shares since September 30th. Todd is doing his part. Spacula. Okay, Spacula.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, when you look at it, you see the value of our Bitcoin. It's got to have to make sense. The valuation's got to make sense, and if it continues to not make sense, then you got to do things to increase shareholder value. I think people blast me for what happened in 17 and 18 with those reverses, but I don't think they understand the dynamics of the market at that moment.
Yeah.
Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 3. The SEC was kind of leaning on people, and it appeared that we were going to go to 0.
Yep.
And we had to reverse, and it was terrible, and it cost me millions of dollars and a lot of grief and a lot of personal threats and people threatening to kill me and my family. It was quite terrible of a thing.
Yeah.
But we stuck with it. We raised a lot of money. We continue to build our operations. I'm super proud of the team. Super proud that you recently joined us as CEO of Alt Media Group, which is a subsidiary of Alt Global Holdings through Alt Alliance. Jason, obviously, you're head of business development for Alt Alliance, killing it.
We're
killing it.
Don't
Killing
think
it.
about, man. We think about the shareholders. Trust me, I think about it.
You actually own some.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
for sure.
So I mean, we think about them.
But I wanted to get off this topic of DPW. We've been on it long enough. I'm overly excited about Bitcoin. I admit that. Let's bring that temperature down a little bit. Keep mining. I'm excited about Bitcoin.
Did you want to get
I can't help but say this to you guys. I'm going to get back on Bitcoin for a second. I don't think people understand that this is Web 2.0. Like,
It's
the
already bigger than
connections-
the .com.
the connections of the electrons that'll take place and the overlay of the technology that is blockchain. And keep in mind, there's 1 million coins out there where the guys openly said, come take them from me. If you're a hacker, you want to DDoS and do everything you can to get those things, good luck. Have you got them? Mm-hmm. No one's broke the blockchain.
What a quest.
No one's broke the blockchain for 256.
That's a movie.
It's a movie, man.
It's
Try
a
to
movie
break it.
quest.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's
What is
a
this,
movie
Todd?
quest.
Are you required to maintain a minimum percentage of DPW? If so, fall below the requirements last quarter using the ATM.
Yeah.
I don't know
For
what
sure.
that means. The minimum. Am I
It's a movie.
required to?
Digital.
I don't understand that question. I'm not required to hold any DPW if I don't want to. I am the largest single shareholder, but anyways, I don't know what that question is, but I'd love to answer it. Hey, Jason, you want to cover anything else?
Yeah. Did you want to talk about the Carousel Capital versus Zach Morris CEI trade?
What's that
The
part?
short report.
Let's cover CEI. That was really a debacle in my opinion.
70% down since Carousel short report yesterday.
Right.
So
For full disclosure, I bought some yesterday.
apparently there was a big time short report from Carousel where they came out and said this one has something for everyone: death spiral, financing, fake CFO, delinquent filings, fired auditors 3 weeks ago, insolvent energy assets, saddest family of entrepreneurs in the clean tech vaporware space. Mm-hmm. And they came out and they started blasting CEI. And apparently, Zach Morris was on Twitter and he called a $5 target price for CEI, and it almost got there.
Got to 480.
Yeah. So apparently they were going back and forth. And this tweet here, finally, we want to thank Zach for giving us the most fun, actionable short since GSAT in 2014. I remember that one. We challenge our followers to come up with an exchange-listed short that has been more colorfully absurd while trading more volume, $1 billion a day than CEI. So they're saying this is like their holy grail of shorts, CEI, and it is now under $1. Mm-hmm. So there was a big ride up and now there was a big fall down, and that's the way the
It's
market is.
$1.11 in the aftermarket.
Oh, it's up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I got to be honest with you. I told you what I thought of the name before. You identified
Yeah.
it at 40 cents.
We liked it.
How did you do that, by the way? You identified it at 40 cents,
yeah.
then 50, then 60, and you're telling Todd 60 cents is going to $1.
Yeah.
And it went to 4.80.
And it went to 480.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
But I got to be honest with you. I despise all the short-term trading. I think it's really gambling.
Yeah.
But it's tough to see it when it's exciting. It is the monkey pushing on the adrenaline rush. Give me more. Give me more.
For sure.
But long term, I've been in certain stocks for years. When I bought Iconics, I waited 7 months for Iconics to do something.
Yep.
6 months, and that to me is short term. I've been in Alzheimer's for 5 years, 6 years. It's went public, and now that thing's getting hammered.
Yes.
With people selling it that were in it 5, 6, 7 years, or 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
But their initial investment was so cheap.
Their initial investment was nothing.
You can see it too, because as soon as it hits a certain spot, they sell off.
Yeah, no, but they're
watch
selling it. They're selling it, collecting their capital. But you can see it keeps rallying back up 10%, going back.
But I've been watching, and
it's building a nice
the
base.
sell-off seems to happen at a certain mark that I've been watching
really?
for weeks. Oh yeah, it seems like it gets to a certain mark and then they sell.
I think they're
off.
selling. Whoever has it is selling it at any price they can to get their money out. I know. When things clear up for Rule 144, there are sellers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best thing that could happen to the stock is getting everyone out of the way.
Absolutely.
Because it's most important to focus on what the drugs are doing in their testing, what's happening with the treatment, AL001, which is in human beings now.
Yeah.
What's happening with the vaccine, which is going to go into humans. We anticipate and hope the FDA will clear that sometime in December for a January, February, the first time you vaccinate someone with a vaccine. And then I'm pumped, man. I'm so excited about a vaccine potentially going into human beings. You will see me giddy as all get out. And by the way, let me lay this out for you. Not only does DPW have a shot on goal with a vaccine and treatment for Alzheimer's, we got Bitcoin. Did I mention that we have Bitcoin? Because we have Bitcoin, we have Bitcoin, we have Bitcoin. We have an EV business that I love. I really hope we get that public someday. That's what we're working on, as we've said publicly.
Yep.
All the stuff we said publicly.
Raising awareness on it. You saw our piece.
This guy says Zach Morris said CEI to 10 like 5 days ago. Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
SEC is going to smack one of these social media pumpers down someday.
Well,
and make an example of them. I would agree with you. That's a scary proposition.
That is true.
The thing you risk the most, I'll be honest with you, and you always hear me say I'm long this, or if I talk about something, I'm long. So I'm long Alzheimer's. I'm long Naked Brands. I'm long Bitcoin. I say this all the time. I can't talk up my book and then be a seller. And that's why I told everyone, hey, listen, I sold when it went over 85 cents, 80 cents on Naked. I've been buying it back. I try to tell you what I'm doing. And when you're talking on social media and talking about a price, I hope you're not selling into the opposite of what you're telling people, because the SEC will bust your booty. I mean, they will bust your booty on that. That's manipulation. That's see, I think people see me on this, but you've got to listen to what I say. This is what I hope happens. This is what I anticipate. When I buy, I report that I bought it. I've never sold a single share in my personal account, my corporate accounts. I've never sold DPW. Have I raised money for DPW? Has the company sold shares to raise money? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I personally have never sold a share. And when I do, you'll get a report saying I sold shares. When I sell Alzheimer's, you'll know ahead of time that I sold Alzheimer's. You'll know that I filed to sell some, but I'm hoping that's at much higher levels.
I see what's going on.
What's happening?
The CEO of Camber Energy, CEI, has come out. We are not considering a reverse stock split. Oh, they filed an 8K. That's why it's going up. I need to read this. Okay. It's up 20% in the after hours. It's at a 109, 110. God, let's look at the shorts here. Hold on. I'm looking. CEI needs a closer look right now, live on air.
Yeah, I see it trading right now.
Yeah.
110 right now.
Okay, there's they've all cut. Oh wow. Yeah, there's a lot of shorts still in there. They're greedy.
What did he say?
Shorts are greedy. I'm still looking at the short report here. Hold on. This is something I think we should. I think there's some value here in starting a position.
What did he say?
Wow, 52.60, huge short position. I'm trying to dig it up. Let's see. They always give you know what the Dow. That's always here, Benzinga. Here we go. Here it is. Camber Energy, incorporated in Nevada. Huh. Office in, wow, the office in Houston, Texas. Not far from a couple other places we know of. I'm just kind of looking here. See what we got here. Oh, the Viking Energy acquisition. They haven't merged yet.
I just bought 20,000.
Okay. Again, this is short term. This is just
that's short term. It doesn't move the portfolio needle at all.
Yeah, it's just a short term, just small scale. I mean, even if we get 1% position in the stock,
that would not happen. 1% position for us would be that you couldn't do it.
Right.
Well, you could. I guess.
Yeah.
You could. You'd have to buy $1 million. I mean, about 700. I mean, you have to 750 maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's about
be
right.
a large position.
Yeah.
To be able to trade that. Yeah, DPW. Wow. Look at this. I saw the Qs reverse a little bit today. That's good. We're long the Qs. I think I've shared that with you.
Oh, yeah.
We got long the Qs. We covered our Peloton short.
Yep.
That worked out well. We're long. See, Alzheimer rallied back
Dude,
to 262.
CEI's got some momentum.
I was just looking at that.
CEI's got some momentum here. I'm not recommending that stock. I'm just saying based on the
One of the exciting things for me is that Willie, you're on the show. This is going to be fun. You're going to offer a different perspective.
Really what I want to do is I want to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to drive you guys insane with questions. Just because I think that it's one of the things that if there are people that are in that aren't as quick as you are and aren't as brilliant as you are, that would leave me.
Jesus, now we heard.
That would leave
me. Come on,
no,
give me a break.
But you
I'm not
are. This
brilliant.
is the thing: is that you don't understand. I don't think you understand.
Dude, you already have a job with me.
How
Stop
you are.
bullshitting me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
already
because
have
that's
a
what I
job.
do is suck up to the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it may be helpful. I don't know. We'll let the viewers
go back to
vote
Hallmark,
in
Willie.
and see if they would like me to ask more questions and drill down. I mean, I'm interested in why you guys are so into certain stock and what it was that you saw in that stock that made you interested in the first place. Because I think there's a lot of people out there, I mean, myself included. Listen, just because I passed the exam to be a financial
Broker?
advisor doesn't mean I know anything. It just means I passed the exam.
Let me be clear. I still love the Naked Army. I love everyone there. All those people are great. I've had a great time with them. I met some of them in person. I miss the guy Armada. He has not responded back. I thought he was going to be on our show.
maybe they got a little upset because Justin didn't. To be fair, we had thought we were going to do the interview with JDR.
Justin told us he would do it. I mean, honestly, we kind of got screwed there. Twitter up in the aftermarket.
Yeah.
Levi Strauss making a big move. Twitter, Meredith. It's an interesting time. I think the month of June is going to continue, or what is wrong with me?
October.
Month of October is going to be volatile.
So you think it's going to be scary in October?
Yeah. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah.
But I do like, Willie, that you're going to ask questions. I think you have a history of being an actor, a singer, a writer, producer. So you kind of have this natural, how do you make something happen? How do you ask the hard questions? How do you ask questions that are probing? You definitely make me better when you help produce what I do. So I think.
Oh, thanks.
And obviously Hallmark likes you. I'm just teasing you a little bit. No, I've seen you in so many Hallmark movies. Look like
I know. Apparently, well, you know what? It's the month of October, and
Yeah.
so there's one very well known one that I
And
did that runs over and over.
They
and over
rerun you for Christmas
Yeah.
when you were playing the guy who owned the Christmas tree lot.
Yeah,
or
oh yeah, all the
whatever.
time.
And
all
you were
the
all
time.
serious, and
Oh,
you and
yeah.
Lori Loughlin.
Yeah.
Guess you didn't get your kids into USC like she did, though.
No. I just saw Lori recently.
Oh, really? How
Yeah,
is she?
She's well.
She's great.
Well. You know,
The last time I saw her, she was with Moss and the Olsen twins, and I was sitting next to them at a Laker game.
Yeah,
100 years ago.
I think the thing that's so interesting, because I've known Lori since the early '80s, and I think everybody, whenever you see somebody that you know go through something that big.
Yeah.
You know, you start to kind of wonder, you know, like how are they? What were they thinking? What is going on? And when I saw Lori, the thing that was really wonderful is that she still had the same, you know, what you didn't see on camera was that she's a very humble person. And she had this humility when I saw her. I just kind of gave her a big hug. You know, I mean, I'm no stranger to you know, to ups and downs. But I just gave her a big hug, and she just looked at me, and you could just tell
She's been beaten up.
that
Not very
yes,
fair.
but there was a life lesson in that.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually, I think we were talking over lunch, and you know, we both looked at each other and said, how fortunate are we that we even have the opportunity to learn a lesson and move on from it.
Yeah,
Like
I
that,
just
you
did,
know.
the thing I bummed for Lori is that I thought her daughter was not gracious. I thought it just appeared to me that it may
Yeah.
not be the case. Maybe the press is making it out that way, but her mom took a lot of risk for her, and you'd think that she'd stand behind her mom a little bit. That's what it felt like to me. I could be wrong, and I want to
Yeah.
be clear. This is media reports.
Well, and listen, I mean, I don't like to get into, you know,
Sure.
into the background and the stuff that, you know, the real details of conversations, especially on those topics, because we really did not do a lot of discussion on what happened.
Plus, we weren't there. We don't know the
But
details.
we did have a wonderful discussion about how, first of all, how many people reached out and how good it was to be able to look forward to having learned dramatic lessons in our lives, and then have the opportunity to move forward and do better because of it. And that's really the conversation that we had. I think that would be the only thing that I would want people to know about that conversation. It's just that, you know, that is there. I mean, and it was very genuine. I've known her for a long time.
Right. Hey, I want to make sure, because I know Justin's people occasionally watch the show. Justin, I'm still a fan of what you're doing with Naked Brands. I know we have some mutual colleagues we know. I'm not bitter about it. Whenever you're ready to come on the show, the invitation's ready for you. I'm excited. I'm a shareholder of Naked Brands. I'm happy to be in it right now. I'm buying it back here at these lower levels.
Yeah.
So what
I
was
don't-
it
I
about
got no
Naked
bitch
Brands
about
that
it.
you loved? What got you in?
I don't love anything about it other than the people that believed in it, and
Like, what was it that you saw that went, I need to be in it? That
it was only what was happening. He was raising capital, doing deals, and then Naked Army got behind it, and I can understand what they were trying to do. It became a little bit of a meme stock. It became a little bit of a
Yeah.
you know, what he was going to provide and do. He was taking a NASDAQ listing, and he's reinvigorating the way the business operates. I think it's
And so what you saw
admirable.
was an intent.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I
it was
know what
it was
it's- I know
based
what
on
it's- I know
it
what
was
it's-
based on the moves he was making in other areas that you recognized an intent to do something in the market.
I know
or
what
with
it's like to be part of a low price stock when people are beating you up and you're trying to make something happen. And that's why just now I just bought 50,000 shares more.
It's very interesting to me what
That's me bidding at 62, everybody. I'm a believer that Justin decided to take a stand and do something for the shareholders. Do I think it's going to the price the Naked Army does? No. Do I think it go to 2 or 3? Absolutely. And I understand what Justin's going through when you have to change your shareholder base over, when you have a listing that's valuable, it trades a lot. It's really easy for people. It's so easy for people online nowadays just to bash the hell out of you and say things that aren't fundamentally
just got filled.
it's being filled, that aren't fundamentally true.
CEI picking up momentum. Sorry to cut you
not,
off.
They're not fundamentally true, and it's not possible to really defend yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
people behind the power of the keyboard, they just have keyboard balls, and they can say what they want, and they have no justification. What's even worse, and I think this is the most despicable thing a person can do, is start talking about what happened 20 years ago or 30 years ago and things you said that you said in school. Did you use the N-word? You know, I'm not a religious guy, but I do know that people make mistakes and that they should not have to pay for those mistakes forever.
Big volume here.
Hey, listen, man, I was suspended by FINRA for 2 years. I had a broker-dealer. I didn't have the money to defend myself, and I just gave in and took the suspension. It was, to me, not a serious issue, but all suspensions are serious. But I did my, quote, time and came back, and hopefully am a lot smarter in the way I make decisions and how I do them. I think it's terrible. I saw this teen editor from Vogue get fired for what she said, and then the person that called her out, they got fired for what she did.
Yep.
And this like, I'm woke now and you shouldn't have done this nonsense. I'm not going to go into it, but I think this is terrible, terrible behavior. We're really worried about what happened with Abraham Lincoln. We want to rewrite that history. I saw someone on Twitter talking about Henry Ford. Clearly he did things that by today's standards are not acceptable, but they're just bypassing everything else that mattered that he did. They're not even looking at what contributions they have to society. I think someone would say, I'll give you a really terrible example. People would say, there's no redeeming quality about Jeffrey Dahmer. There's not. I think he did a lot of terrible things. Even his parents loved him, though, right? But one thing that's changed in that city is that when police respond to a distressed person, they take it differently than they used to. They separate the person from them.
yeah.
That person that Jeffrey Dahmer was killing that night, when they showed up, the police showed up, they just said, oh, it's a lover spat, gay lover spat, and they left. That doesn't happen anymore in that city. So there is something positive for other people. You sort of build off the learning blocks of each time. I've had bad things happen to me. I hope to learn from them. I had a failed marriage the first time. I really feel like my wife waited 13 years to tell me what was wrong, what I did in high school to her, and she exploded like a volcano, as I call it, a volcano effect. But I've learned from that. This person's asking, what's your opinion of Michael Wax? Michael Wax served his time. He did something. He paid the money back. He went to jail. He served his time. My opinion is he's lives in the United States. He served his time, and he's legally allowed to make investments. Bitcoin. And he made a mistake. I'm not endorsing that mistake, but we try to kill people too fast. What's your opinion of Michael Wax?
Wow.
Hey, I've seen Michael Wax invest in companies that got saved because of him. I've seen Michael Wax give companies a lifeline, and they went on to employ a lot of people because of him. Do I support everything he does? Absolutely not. But I absolutely will tell you that we need to stop just killing everybody and act like there's nothing positive here. I just think it's, I don't know how I got on that tangent.
Well, no,
tangent. How did I
we
get
were
on that
talking.
tangent?
We were talking about Justin and what he was doing with Naked, and I still find it fascinating that, you know, because everybody will tell you do not invest emotionally.
Sure.
I mean, that's like a huge red flag right there if you're investing based on emotions. Although there's a part of emotion that goes into every investment. But I find it fascinating that that's one of the reasons that you support Naked. There have to be other reasons.
For the army that's there and what Justin's trying to do.
Right. But that's what interests me, is because you see him making moves that matter.
It's tough. You guys, when you're public, my brother says forgiveness is always available. There are some things I think are really hard to forgive, but there's this great song by Tim McGraw, right? And I gave forgiveness, I've been denying, right? It's true. It just makes life easier to not demonize someone. Listen, Michael Wax has had to live with what happened to him, but what I've known of Michael Wax for the last 20 years is a honest guy who tells me what he really thinks, and he's done everything he said he would do for me. We do not agree. Michael and I fight like dogs and cats sometimes, really, and sometimes I think he's a fucking dick to me.
Yeah.
Right? But I respect what he does in his business. He owned up to what happened. He went to jail. He paid his fine. He paid the money back. Should he not be allowed to invest his own money anymore? That's not for me to determine. But I can tell you he's been honest with me. And I have had nothing. I don't agree with his opinions, but we have an honest relationship, and I respect Michael Wax. And so there's my answer for you. If you're going to ask about it, I realize that when you're in a fishbowl, like being a public company, no matter what you do, someone can say the opposite of what you're doing. There are people out there that should say, hey, Todd, I don't think you should be putting money in Bitcoin. Hey, Todd, I don't think you should be putting money in biotech. You guys haven't been there for me. You weren't sitting with the scientists, the doctors, the people involved. You didn't spend 5 years talking to scientists and people who convinced me that we have something. Now, do we? We'll find out. But listen, I'm 51, going to be 52. This is going to be my legacy one way or not, but I'm not done for the next 10 years. And there's not much people can do to stop me. I'll make sure that Alzheimer has shots on goals. I'll make sure that DPW has a shot to return money to investors. I will.
You know, it's funny when you start talking about you know, somebody like Michael Waxer. You have somebody that I'm a big believer in second chances.
Sure.
I'm a really big believer in it. And I blew up in 2008, as you know. And
Really?
you know,
What happened to you? I don't know that. Just kidding.
but I will tell you that,
$1.20.
that when somebody offered me an opportunity,
CEI.
and I told him, you will never regret giving me that opportunity. And I took on several different jobs. I mean, I did whatever it took to come back. I was working for Dish Network. I went to work for the cruise lines.
You get
I did-
$1.16. I'm sorry,
You know,
Willie.
no, that's all right.
This is live. We're always doing crazy stuff here.
But I was given a second opportunity, and I know what I did with it. I turned it into the absolute most, and then you just put the cherry on top and gave me another opportunity. So I kind of feel like if you're in that frame of mind where, you know, people have done the right thing, they've paid back their debts, they've done everything that they can,
Yeah.
they've moved on with their life and they've learned a lesson, then they deserve a second chance. I really
My
truly
man,
believe that.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a little cheesy today, but Willie, you are one of the few people in my life, one of the few, that have always kept their word to me. You are literally a man of your word.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
you know, I do
Thanks,
what
Paul McGraw.
I do what I can to keep everything positive.
MCG?
And I do what I can
Maybe?
to make sure that if you give me an opportunity or anybody gives me an opportunity, I will absolutely not squander that.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one
Gabe.
other person, if you give that opportunity to just one other person in your life at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and they make good on it, 98% of them won't. 98% of them will go right back doing what they were doing before. But if there's one person you give that opportunity to and they turn themselves around, it's worth
Willie,
it.
you definitely keep your word. I literally have not thought of a time that you haven't kept your word to me. And, is Gabe out there? I love Gabe. There's
Yeah.
another great guy right there. Gabe, I love this guy.
I mean, he should probably submit his resume to us.
That guy should come work with us. I really do believe he is a hard worker. He told me, hey, I'm capped out what I'm doing. I go, hey, it's not a bad cap out, though.
Oh, no,
He's
that's a
making some
good
real
gig,
money.
man. No doubt.
Hey, we're going to cut it out here, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, wait.
What do you got?
What do you got?
I promised you one joke before we go.
Okay.
And I actually promised it to Nick because he brought it up. So Nick, this is for your attorney friend. Who's your yeah? Father-in-law? Oh, this is even better. So there's two tigers and they're walking single file through the jungle. And as they're going along, suddenly the tiger in front jumps up and he turns around to the tiger behind him and says, "Did you just lick my ass?" And the tiger behind him says, "I did. I did just lick your ass." And he said, "Well, stop it. I don't like it." And so they go walking through the jungle, and pretty soon the tiger in the front jumps up again and turns around and said, "Did you just lick my ass again?" Mm-hmm. And the tiger behind him says, "I did." And he said, "I told you I didn't. Why do you keep doing that?" He said, "Well, I ate an attorney for breakfast, and I'm trying to get the taste out of my mouth."
Oh, that's terrible.
Music, Brett. Music.
You are terrible. Oh, no. Oh, no. You got to stop that.
Uh-oh.
Hey, hey,
Uh-oh.
hey, hey.
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Whoa, wait a second here. With that in mind,
What do we got?
we are going to play a little video of one of my favorite songs, and we'll fade out to that. You can fade this out if you want to, okay?
Who is it?
Let it play for a little bit. Ready?
Tug McGraw's son?
Of course, now I'm in my early 50s. Now, can you be a good-looking guy like this guy and be married to Faith Hill?
Faith Hill.
Do you know Faith Hill? Have you met any one of these?
No, don't know them.
Give me this cowboy hat.
You said I was in my early 40s.
See, I like this part about Gabe forgiveness.
When a moment came
Gabe
that stopped
forgiveness.
me on a dime.
I've been denying.
I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays, talking about the
You know what,
options.
Jason? I've been focused
Talking
on less
about
drama,
sweet
as
times.
much transparency as you can get,
Asked him when it
and
sank
less
in.
drama. And I play this all the time to remind myself that you gotta give people forgiveness.
I'm gonna
You
start
can't
playing
beat the
this
shit
song
out of
myself.
people,
What you do?
right?
Yeah.
He said,
I've been
skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu, and I loved deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denying.
We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Take care. Actually, we will see you Friday for the end of the week show. Willie will be calling in from where he's at. We'll have some guests on the show. This is episode 142 of Risk On.
Read that.
100.
Read that. That's great. Devon Wright.
This is episode
pretty good.
142 of
I'm
Risk
sorry
On.
about ticker AG.
It is-
Down
what is-
1.2.
What day is it? It is October 6th. To my brother Neil, I love you, my man. I love my brother. I don't get to see him that often, but he is one of the nicest men I ever met. My mom's in the episode out here today. Devon Wright's out there. Gabe's out there. I saw It's Good to Be the King. A lot of people out there. Appreciate
Everybody.
the episode. I know it sounds a little cheesier, but
Jitendra.
I can't deny that I'm lucky guy. We're long Bitcoin
We're
finally.
working hard, I'm telling you.
We are, aren't we?
Yep.
We'll see you Friday.
I went skydiving.
How you gonna edge that out?